Well, 2023 is almost over, and you know what? My channel is starting to gain a little traction. I'm starting to understand the search engine optimization and how the YouTube algorithm works. And you guys, the people that have been following me, I cannot thank you enough. It has been awesome. If you guys are interested in seeing anything specific from me moving forward, your input would be greatly appreciated.
Let's see what you got there.
Here's a few minutes of...
Give all the paint.
This is a minute of me and my daughter.
A whole the paint.
Those are all yours, right?
These? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't believe how talented she is. Man, I've been doing this for years and she's already got shading down. Look at that. To me, that's what it's all about, man. Those little moments that you can steal away from your busy day to just spend with family, doing things. Man, I waste so much of my time, and it's hard to get moments like that. Let's get the logistics out of the way. I'm going to be competing March 17th here in Nevada, and it's going to be a qualifier. So I get to redeem myself for the poor showing that I had at Worlds. Even though it is a local meet, all the records will count, and I could still claim those titles if I can do well. So we'll see. I've reached out to a couple people and I've asked them to help me out with programming, that kind of thing. I haven't received a response yet, so we'll see what direction we're going to go in. For the longest time, I was focusing on YouTube Shorts because they get a lot of traffic, but it's really hard to get a coherent message across with YouTube Shorts, any kind of useful information. And the other problem is a lot of the traffic is random. So even though the view counts are a lot higher, it does get me a subscriber or two here or there, it's hard to get a relevant, coherent message across. So I've been focusing a little bit more on these longer videos, and you guys seem to really like them so far. I've got nothing but positive responses, but it's tough to pick a direction. What is it I really want to focus on? So one, I'm a competitive powerlifter, and that's the main focus. Two, I'm almost 50 years old, so that's a second focus. Three, I'm very family oriented, and I like to involve my family as much as possible. And if I grow this channel, I do want it to include the family as much as they're willing. And four, what is it I want to talk about? Well, it's the problem we as men face, life's problems. There's a lot of this man affair stuff. How to be a man, alpha male, really tough, smoke cigars, biker, spiky things. And what is that a man? That to me, like, the appearance of competence is not competence. The appearance of confidence is still an act. And really what I want at the end of the day for most guys to be is okay with themselves. And when I say that, I mean to like who you are as a person. As far as being okay with yourself physically, mentally, financially, all the things we face, I'm not okay with myself at all. When I look in the mirror, I see this tiny little kid that used to get beat up every day, and it's body dysmorphia, and that's something I struggle with. I've struggled with addiction. It took me a year. I still battle with it. I mean, that never really goes away. So it's not like I have my stuff together. I'm surrounded by good people, have a good support team, and I'm actively involved in recovery. So that helps me keep my crap together, and because of that awesome support team, I've been able to get a house, a job, a couple of nice, I got an okay car, whatever. I got all this stuff a guy could possibly want. Is it the best? Is it the newest? Am I Andrew Tate, driving Bugattis, smoking cigarettes, cigars, whatever? Is that even who I'd want to be? Just like slinging dick at the ladies and slaying and getting all the women? Or do I want to be a good husband and a father and be happy with the lovely family that I have? All that, none of that really matters, because maybe you are a single man and you're just looking to meet somebody. Or maybe you're a guy that's been married for 20, 30 years and you're looking to reconnect with your wife. And maybe you're not even interested in women. I don't know, whatever. I mean, we're still men. We have a wiener between our legs, and we got that whole chromosome thing going on, and that's really what defines a man physically. The rest is all about being able to meet life on life's terms, and that is basically what I'm about. It isn't whether or not you got your crap together, because I certainly don't. It's not about how you dress or how you look, because look at me, I'm a goofball. It's just being like, starting to like the person that you see in the mirror, and you say, like, you know what, you're all right. You got some problems, you need a little work, you're rough around the edges, but you're okay. I don't buy into this whole self-esteem nonsense. You're okay just the way you are. Really? Are you? You're good enough just the way you are? You don't need to improve anything? Life should just be, hey, you should just be happy with what you see in the mirror? No, we should always strive for constant improvement, and we should always be trying to hone our skills and trying to master something. We're gregarious by nature. So this whole thing about, like, I don't need anybody and I'm totally self-sufficient and, it's just me against the world and I'm the Sigma male or whatever the hell they're talking about, I think it's nonsense. The pursuit of things, wealth, material stuff that little labels that, signify to the rest of the world how successful we are, all that is a mask. None of that matters. You can't take anything with you. The older I get, the dumber I get, but the more I'm realizing that it's all about the connections we make and the people we meet and, the relationships we establish. And there's been a recurring problem I have in my life where I seem to let people into my life just to find out that there's issues and I have to dissolve the relationship, and that's happened a few times this year. And I got this thinking, like, is the problem if something keeps happening in your life over and over again, usually you have to look at what the common denominator is between all those issues, and the number one common denominator is me. I'm involved in all of them. So if something, I have to look at myself and say, well, what is it you're doing wrong? Essentially, I try to live by some really simple principles, some core tenets, if you will. It's not about what you look like, how hard you are, if you're alpha, beta, whatever, skin color, sexuality, like none of that matters to me. Being a man, what it is to me is self-ownership. We take responsibility and we try to better ourselves. That's it. I mean, that's all you can ask for. If you're putting good faith effort into improving yourself and you examine yourself and you try to figure out why it is things keep happening in your life and you try to improve those things, that is what my channel is all about. Like, look at powerlifting. What is powerlifting? Powerlifting is picking up the heaviest object you can. You have 3 lifts. Deadlift, bench, squat. You try to pick up the most weight you can. And if it's not enough, what do? You train and you try to get better and you try to pick up more weight. And along that journey, you meet people that help you hone those skills. And after a while, you become super proficient and you pick up the most weight you possibly can. That's powerlifting. Well, that's life. Everything is about picking up the most that you possibly can carry, shouldering that burden, and trying to improve. Everything, with work, you start out as what? Construction, you start out as a general laborer. You push a broom, you work a shovel, you work up into heavy equipment, and then you pick a direction, a trade, electrician, plumber, brick, mason, iron worker. And then after a while, you get good enough to where they want you to supervise people. And then you start supervising people. And next thing you know, you've learned enough to run a job, and now you're a superintendent. And, then it just keeps going up and up and up. It's all about progress, not perfection, because we fail. And if you're not failing, you're not trying. Every time you dump that weight on yourself, or every time you slip a lift, or every time you bomb a squat, it's analogous to life. Analogous to life. Hey, as the iron, so goes life. It's something like that. I'm trying to say something profound, but basically, lifting is a metaphor for life, right? I mean, what are we talking about? we run into problems with money. You try to figure out a budget. You try to figure out where you're spending, where you're hemorrhaging cash, and then you try to sell that up so you can, provide for your family. The problems with kids at school, they try to figure out, well, what is it they're deficient in? Am I not giving them enough attention? Do I need to help them with their homework? Am I not spending enough time with them? You try to solve problems with your wife. She's mad that you're spending so much time working out and you're not giving her any attention. Are you meeting her needs? Are you being a partner? Is it all just about you? It's the same thing professionally. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Everything is the same thing. It's picking up the most that you can pick up, shouldering that weight, and trying to get stronger. Right? I mean, what are we talking about? I'll be honest with you guys. I was actually thinking about getting out of YouTube for a while. I was thinking, what am I doing? Where's this going? This is taking a lot of time from my family. I make these videos by myself. I don't have any help editing. I use simple software, and this is like, I'm learning it as I go. So the presentation's not that great. Sound editing needs work. I don't really have a fancy setup, but lately I've gotten a glimmer of hope. My views have gone up. The time watched has gone up. My metrics across the board have gone up ever so slightly, but they're trending very slowly but surely in an upward direction. And it's given me hope that, maybe I don't have to do commercial construction for the rest of my life. Now, don't get me wrong. I love what I do for a living. It's been awesome to me. But could you imagine if I could just get paid to lift weights? What would that look like? Oh my God. Could I really bust into those records if I really had the ability to do that? God, that would be a dream come true. I'm putting a prayer out there, God should will it. That's what I would love to do, but I don't want it to be all about me, I see me every day, I get sick of me. I want other people to come with me. I want other people to be involved. I want to collaborate. I want to do stuff with other lifters. I want to showcase other lifters. I want to help people get under the barbell, and I want to help people get better at life. And I always say, steel sharpens steel. You guys help me as much as I help you. That is what that means. Iron sharpens iron. We do this together. Nobody is an island, and we all need each other. So, hey, moving forward, I don't know. I want to thank all you guys that have been following me, and I want to thank all the guys that you say you enjoy this nonsense, me rambling into a camera and showing off a bunch of stupid lifts. It's been fun. I love doing it, and I'm happy to share it. And if you like it, and if you want to see something different moving forward, you guys let me know, man. I am totally open to suggestion. I don't get a whole lot of feedback on what I should do differently. So, let me know. Anyway, love you guys. Got to get to work.